WXII 12 News at 11 starts right now.
Our severe weather coverage continues tonight. We've seen tornado warnings and watches today, ominous clouds and heavy rain in some areas. We have team coverage with Steve King live for us in Wilkes County. Our Bill O'Neill is live in the field as well. But let's begin with meteorologist Michelle Kennedy. Michelle, right now, what is your biggest concern?
Well, biggest concern is that we still have a high risk for isolated tornadoes and damaging winds coming out of the storm. We have tornado warning, watches up to the east. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. This area that you see here in orange is just ahead of our cold front. It has developed with a squall line, which means we've got a line of showers and thunderstorms, and embedded within these thunderstorms, some pretty strong winds. We've got lots of lightning to the north here from Wilkesboro as we go up through Sparta, and now heading in with the rain over where Steve King will be joining us live in a little bit. We've got the thunderstorms rolling toward him. Statesville, Moxville, and areas like Lexington may also see some severe storms within the next couple of hours. But out through Surry County, another round of storms heading your way. It's trending east now, and an east-northeast movement with those showers and thunderstorms. Broader area shows you where we have those areas in yellow under that tornado watch now until 5 a.m. So a little bit lengthening of the storm activity for us. From Mount Airy through Stewart, Martinsville, we've already had one round of showers and storms roll out of Danbury within the last hour. Look at the storms also blowing up over High Point and Greensboro. We've got some heavy rains with these. We also have a possibility of some pea-size hail that has been reported brief times with these. And north of Reedsville, we're rolling through with some strong thunderstorm gusts just below the severe criteria for these storms here. We're going to be watching for that. But this is the line here that could drop in some winds, take down some trees. Now, the pattern for these looking a bit more like straight line wind activity. We've got you anywhere over the 60-mile-an-hour mark potentially coming out of some of these strong storm cells. And so a whole broad area right along that cold front has been placed under that severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado watches still in effect for folks here, and then we'll see that lasting as we go into the evening hours overnight through Winston-Salem and Greensboro. So now through midnight, we continue with some of those watches to the west. When it comes to the severe thunderstorm warnings, those are in effect now, and those will likely track east with those warnings as the storm comes in from our cold front. So tornado watches up, as we mentioned, till 5 a.m. for most folks in the triad through about early 5 a.m. and our warnings up now stretched out from Wilkesboro through areas of Yadkinville, right now where Steve King is located. Steve, I heard the rain coming down hard out there. Hopefully you'll continue to see decent conditions very quickly after the storm rolls through.
We hope so. We actually moved to Wilkesboro just now. We're on Highway 421. It's very important to note we are safe. We are covered by an awning here at a gas station, but you can really see how severe this thunderstorm is getting. The rain here is pretty evident by this rain pouring off of the awning here at the gas station. The rain starting about 15 minutes ago, and it has been getting pretty heavy. It actually slowed down just a little bit right before our live shot began. I want to show you some more of the rain over here. You can see the water collecting in this parking lot right now. It was rushing a little bit more intensely just a little while ago. The winds also have died down just a little bit, but if we look across the street, we can see some of these flags at a car dealership blowing in the wind. And really, like I said, it was a lot more intense just a few minutes ago, but it is still pretty bad out here as the rain and wind continue to hammer the area here in Wilkesboro. I want to show you what it was like in Yadkinville earlier today, though. This is footage that a viewer sent us, which shows a possible funnel cloud forming. Now, she says that she was very worried when she saw this funnel cloud. She wasn't sure what was going to happen next, and when the storm passed, she was just very grateful that everything was okay and that she didn't see any signs of damage. There were some people at some nearby churches as well, and they say that they had to go into the basement to ride out the worst of the storm. So some very intense moments in Yadkin County earlier today. Back here in Wilkes County, it is coming down, like I said, and there are some lightning strikes. You probably heard some thunder there just now, so people should try to stay inside if at all possible. We are under this awning, so we are safe, but we're going to be as safe as we can getting back home tonight. Now, the most important thing to note is that as of now, there are no reports of any property damage or injuries related to the storm, both here in Wilkes County and in Yadkin County, and that's the most important thing. But now let's send it over to our Bill O'Neill. He joins us live in Winston-Salem with a look at the conditions there. Bill?
Yeah, thank you, Steve. This is going to be an unsettling night for many people as they go to bed not knowing whether or not a tornado is going to strike this area. I can tell you the advice we would give you, take your phone with you to bed tonight. The WXII weather app It'll let you know if something is happening, whether a tornado hits. If you have a weather radio, bring it to bed. Also can be a way of letting you know if that storm were to hit later tonight while you're in bed sleeping. What do you do if it does happen? I can tell you a year ago, I have covered so many of these storms, but a year ago it came dangerously close to my own home. I don't have a basement and I didn't really know what to do. Well, this past Friday, I spoke to an expert over at Moses Cone Health. His name is Scott Suppernar, and he told me what you want to do is go to the inner part of your home or apartment. Find whether it's a closet or a bathroom, and that is where you will take cover if a tornado is to come into your area. Be sure to protect your head. That is the most likely way that you'll get hurt throughout all of this. So be careful, but be safe. A lot of us do not have emergency kits made up. Mr. Suppernar tells me only about 20% of people actually have an emergency kit ready to go, and most of those people are folks who have actually gone through a storm firsthand, so they know what's needed and what they have to do to get through that night or perhaps the next couple of days. So the wind is picking up here. Let's hope for the best. In Winston-Salem, I'm Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
All right, Bill, Steve, thank you for those reports. Strong wind has caused some of the worst damage that we've seen from today's severe weather. It knocked down this tree, which landed on top of a car and blocked North Street in Mount Airy entirely. One of the people who lives in this neighborhood says he saw the storm coming up quickly, and he says it didn't take long for it to do all this damage.
It was a pretty steady rain, and then, yeah, just lightning struck really close to the house. I mean, we're like 50 yards away from that tree. And it just happened so quick, we didn't really know what to do. We all just scattered inside the house and then come back out to seeing everybody's cars. Pretty messed up.
And here's what's causing more damage that we've seen today. Flooding. This is Riverside Park in Mount Airy. The nearby Greenway is also underwater. Now, because of those trees and the power lines that have come down across the area, Duke Energy says there are 45 customers who don't have power in Surrey County. That number has come down significantly from this afternoon. It was about 400 earlier. Around 200 people are in the dark in Stokes County, and the bulk of the power outages that we've seen are actually just southwest of the Triad. You can stay up to date on severe weather even when we're not on air by downloading our free WXII 12 News app. You can turn on push alerts so you'll get notified when you're at the risk of severe weather. The same storm system bringing us severe weather today actually caused 8 deaths and destroyed neighborhoods across the South. You see the impacted states shaded in red. Here's where the destruction began in Texas. This is some of the damage left behind by an EF3 tornado. We're talking total devastation. 2 young kids died when a tree fell on top of their car. You see roofs ripped off of buildings and cars on their sides. Several people are hurt. Violent 140-mile-per-hour winds and hail caused all this damage in this neighborhood in Franklin, which is about 100 miles northeast of Austin. The wind pulled up trees and power poles. The entire town lost power at one point. In Louisiana, a teenager drowned. They got swept away by floodwaters brought on by heavy thunderstorms. Trees also came crashing down here in Monroe, crushing homes and people's cars. The Emergency Management Agency in Mississippi says multiple people have died from the storm there, but they didn't say exactly how many. Some roads are still blocked by floodwater or trees. And today the storm made its way through Alabama, shredding everything in its path here in Troy. You see that sign just dangling there, and then lots of building parts hanging from power lines and crushing cars. Because of the storm's proximity to Augusta, Georgia, today's Masters golf tournament was moved up to get ahead of the storm. In other news, cut melon sold across the U.S., including here in North Carolina, is under recall tonight. Nearly 100 people across 16 states have gotten salmonella after eating it. This recall impacts pre-cut watermelon, honeydew, and cantaloupe produced by Cato Foods. The fruit's been sold under various brands or labels at Kroger, Walmart, Trader Joe's, Target, and Whole Foods. If you think you have this melon in your fridge or you can't verify where it was grown, they're encouraging you to throw it out or take it back to the store for a refund. Salmonella symptoms include diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramps. New tonight, some parents in Guilford County are concerned that the Gateway Education Center could be shut down. Danny Ermentrout is the PTA president at Gateway. She says the school board wants to close that school, which specializes in teaching students who have special needs and disabilities. The Greensboro Cerebral Palsy Association also operates out of the Gateway Education Center on Wendover Avenue. The PTA president says school district leaders also want to move that agency. Parents say they feel blindsided by the news.
The parents were not notified, we were not included in the process, there were no meetings, and when the meeting happened, we weren't even invited, and when we showed up, they didn't show up.
She tells us the future of the school is going to be up for discussion at the Guilford County School Board meeting this coming Wednesday. And as we go to break, we want to take a look back at some of the pictures that our viewers sent us during today's severe weather and tornado warning. You see lots of dark, ominous clouds and some more tree damage throughout the area. We'll be right back.